And I'm Kelsey.
And today we're going to show you how to load a kiln. This is what a kiln should look like before we load. Why don't you take a look inside?
Okay.
Alright, it's very clean, vacuumed, and there's nothing on the bottom. The first thing to do when loading a kiln is finding the appropriate posts for the bottom shelf. Here, Kelsey, why don't you put these in their correct place?
The posts should be evenly spaced, and they should not block the peepholes or the thermocouple if your kiln has one. Now that we have our posts in the kiln, we can load our first shelf. Make sure that you put it in with kiln wash, that's white, facing up.
Kelsey is demonstrating the correct way to load a kiln shelf into the kiln, being very careful while lowering the shelf down, making sure she does not hit the soft brick. If you will notice, Kelsey placed the shelves on the posts, and there's a post here, a post here, a post here, and a post here. So they're in the middle of the backs, and where these two kiln shelves come together, they share one post. They're an array of kiln posts, and it is important to choose the right one for your piece. Kelsey is now demonstrating the wrong sizes for the piece.
Too short. This one looks just right.
All right.
Let's begin the next level of our kiln by loading our posts first. Be sure to place them in alignment with the last posts that you put into the kiln. Now we're ready to load some work. This part of kiln loading is just like three-dimensional Tetris. As long as you keep that in mind, you should be okay. We want to make sure that everything is close together, as close as we can get it. Since this is a glaze kiln, we want to make sure that nothing is touching because the glaze will run and the pieces will glaze together. When you're loading bisque kilns, you can sometimes stack pieces as long as they won't cause warping or shrinkage. You can talk to your instructor about specifics.
After you've loaded your work, making sure that it doesn't touch the walls, any of the other pieces, or the posts, you can go ahead and load your next layer of shelves. All layers of shelves line up exactly the same.
We want to make sure that the shelves do not wobble too much, so adjust your posts and your shelves accordingly.
This would be a good shelf to load your cone pack on because it's in the middle of the kiln, so it has the most accurate temperature for the entire kiln. Kelsey is aligning the cone pack in front of one of the peepholes and checking to make sure that she can see the cones through the peepholes.
all that's left is loading the rest of our work onto this next shelf.
Now that we have the kiln completely full as it can get, we are ready to close the lid and enter the program.